Next, we're going to have an interview with our friend Jack Tickner here of Basil's Kite. So, Jack.
Hey.
Thank you so much again for joining us for this episode and this interview. What got you into playing music, and what was your first band?
My first ever band was a band called The Rangers. And I don't know if you've heard the word ranger, but in Australia it means like redhead. So we were called The Rangers. None of us had red hair, but that was kind of the joke. And we'd play in a local church in my small regional town I grew up in. And we would only do a cover of Island in the Sun by Weezer.
Nice.
And that was my first ever band. And from there, I went into high school and started a band called Thomas Covenant. We released one record, and it's like probably a lot more pop. But I think there was some really cool ideas in there. And then Basil's Kite was alongside that. I think we started 2011 now, which is quite a while ago.
Answers my next question.
Yeah.
So you guys have been around for
a
long time.
Yes, we have been around for a long time, but with varying levels of intensity. So I think there was a year, maybe it was 2015, where we only did one gig and didn't really write any songs or anything like that. So now we're basically running at hyperspeed with our new members. We got an entire album recorded, ready to go. We got so many ideas and so many songs. So it really feels like it's kind of had a rebirth in the last since 2019.
Yeah, since the release of Sun is Smiling, you've seen a stylistic shift away from what was on Celestial Fuckfest with that more kind of like math rock focus, and you've shifted into something that's definitely more undeniably mathcore and aggressive for sure.
When our sax player left the band, it was obviously very sad because he's like a very close friend. But as soon as he left, we just turned our amps up louder and started playing everything slightly faster. And it was like, all right, cool. Now we can kind of just become more of a heavy band, I guess.
Right. You don't have to play softly anymore. No more soft dynamics.
No.
Just all loud staccato. So
yeah, 100%.
How did Basil's Kite get started?
So I was in high school and I heard Terra Melos and I was like, oh my God. Like, oh my God. I had no idea music could do this. And it just like sent me into a spin. And then from that point on, I just kind of, I guess like romantically devoted my musical output to playing in odd time signatures. So I think like I wasn't never like I'm mostly self-taught as a guitarist. I had like a little bit of direction and then I studied for a bit, but I never had any hyper fixation or hyper focus in like learning guitar from a teacher. So I just sort of sat down and tried to add new beats into my music. And at first it was very primitive and kind of like, I don't know, a bit haphazard. And then I sort of just kept going. And then I met another guitarist who was also into the same thing, Jono. And that was, I have a more interesting kind of origin story if you want to hear that.
No, please. Yeah, of course.
Okay. So I pick who I tell this to because it kind of makes people feel a bit yuck, but Basil's Kite started on 4chan.
I think I saw you say that somewhere else online. I mean, it's like,
yeah.
How are you going to raise an eyebrow at someone for being on a message board on the internet, though? It wasn't necessarily always a cesspool of, exclusively a cesspool of really problematic people. You know, there's also just a lot of like young kids who are shit posters who really just have no idea of what the repercussions of what they're posting on the internet could possibly be.
Yeah, exactly. And it wasn't like, we were just on the music board. And it was one of those threads that's like, let's start an international band. Like, let's all get together and play music. And I just started chatting with this guy. So dangerous in hindsight. Like, such a dangerous thing for a like 17-year-old on the internet to be doing. Just picking up a random guy on 4chan to chat to.
Right.
But
come over, bring all your expensive music gear to my house and we'll hang out.
Yeah. And then like we just got chatting, and then I realized this guy like lived 20 minutes away from me, so we met up, and then we started as a Neutral Milk Hotel cover band, which is so 4chan. It's so music board for 4chan Mu, and then
it's something, all right.
We sort of kept going. Yeah. And yeah, I even got some pictures from that. I think because the town we're from is Wollongong. Mm-hmm. I think the gig was called In the Aeroplane Over the Gong.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm actually a huge fan of Neutral Milk Hotel, by the way, so I do appreciate that.
First album was ridiculous.
Yeah. I still love it. It still hits me just as much as it used to.
Same.
And yeah, and then we just kept playing and had a few lineup changes, and here we are.
How did you land on the name Basil's Kite? So I assume that you enjoy Cap and Jazz, but what specifically about the song Basil's Kite drew you? What was the attraction there to that name?
It's probably who's the singer? Is it
Tim
or
Kinsella?
Mike?
Mm-hmm.
Tim.
Yeah, it was probably Tim's vocals, and I was just like, that is so good. Like, and just everything about that song is so it's so unapologetic. It's just like the really out of tune, like horn or whatever. There's like kind of like this weird rhythmic. Yeah,
it's the definition of out of tune. That is actually
jangly.
By far. That is like my top 3 favorite Cap and Jazz tracks is Basil's Kite.
It's real good for sure. I love Tim Kinsella on that note. He is one of the most idiosyncratic vocalists in the genre.
Chris, when they did their revamped thing in what was this, 2018? You think?
Yeah, 2018 or 19. Yeah, I saw him at FYF in Los Angeles.
And and then you and I got our
we saw
our shirts wind together. Tim Kinsella
We're
stuck his mic.
ourselves. But.
Yeah, but we saw them live, and we like Tim stuck his microphone through Christian's shirt, then through my shirt, and then kept singing. And at some point, we had to take our shirts off because he took our shirts with the mic cord away.
That was the first time I've taken my shirt off in public. And in a non beach scenario or lake scenario in like a long time.
He took my Blood Brothers sweatshirt, and he took Christian's actual T-shirt. So I had a T-shirt underneath, and Christian had nothing.
No, Levi was like having a panic attack, like reaching for it. He was like, "That's my valuable Blood Brothers hoodie." Like, you could see the distress on his face. It's immortalized on video too.
It was vintage. I just needed that shit. but anyways, yeah.
Anyway, So I hope you appreciate that, because as a Kinsella fan.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I like that. It seems very I don't know. Was he doing it to other people, or was it just?
Oh yeah,
like
by the time he was done, he'd collected probably 15 or 20 different garments.
20 different garments. Yeah, we were the first 2, and then he just kept grabbing people, like, because we were just front stage, and he just kept grabbing people and taking their shirts.
But by the song, they played out the song like in an extended version, and by the time the song was done, he had given back everybody their stuff. But of course, that meant that very, very last, I would get my shirt back. So he really made me. Put me in a potentially uncomfortable situation. I just had to roll with it.
Christian's sweet nips were just out for everybody there.
There was the audience around me was warmly encouraging, so I didn't feel awkward about it. Anyway, sorry for hijacking this interview to talk about our experience seeing.
No, that's a great story.
No, I really appreciate that. It's sort of left field for a mathcore band to so intimately reference an emo band, but yeah, I do appreciate that as a Midwest emo fan, and they're the very best among them. So, yeah. So, can we talk a little bit about the writing process for Shooting Stars for our listeners, because many of them may not be aware that this album has more or less been in the works for a better part of a decade, right? Like 7 years or so.
Yeah, it has, and it's I think we've had some people reach out, which is really nice. They found old videos of Backvark from 2015 and stuff, and they're saying nice things about it. So yeah, it's kind of nice. They've all undergone so many changes and
permutations.
I think we were so many permutations, and I think it was 2019 when we got our new drummer Isaac. And he just completely changed everything. And yeah, he was Isaac was a mega fan. Like, we've got all these old videos of us playing live, and Isaac's in the background, just this gigantic bald man who's just very ecstatic to be watching us. And then as soon as we said that our drummer had left, Isaac just immediately messaged me and joined the band. And then he I think he learned all of the songs in 2 months, which is just crazy behavior.
So most of these songs were arranged by you and Jono, correct?
Yeah. And then Isaac picked up the songs, learnt them in 2 months, and then Jono left at the same time. So we went from 2 guitarists to 1 guitarist, and then we went on tour with Isaac to Brisbane and played all these songs. And yeah, I think after that I was like, yeah, this guy must be pretty into the music if he just did it so quickly.
Honestly, that's the kind of person that you want to join your band. Yeah, exactly. Someone who's like the most enthusiastic fan of the band is honestly the perfect person to be in the band if they have the prerequisite skills. If they possess it on a genetic level to play mathcore. Because some people, like, literally, I think, just do not possess it on like a molecular level. You know what I'm saying? It's just not in their biology, their physiology, rather.
Yeah, so, exactly. There's some weird broken thing in their brain that makes them want to sit down and perfect a passage that's in like 11/8 or something. You know,
right?
Because it's not fun. It's not fun to do all the time, and it's not like there's a huge crowd of people who are gonna appreciate you for it either. No, and
I'm certain that you don't sit down with the deliberate notion of writing any particular time signature. You're writing something, and then a time signature is just something you apply later on. In most cases, you just figure out how to like subdivide the phrase most effectively for memorization, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how you would articulate that, but
well, for me, it's kind of like you know those old Looney Tunes things where it's just like Wile E. Coyote on the front of a train, and he's like putting down the train tracks as the train's running. It's kind of like that.
I love that allegory.
It's just like, it's just like you got an idea and you're just following it and you're collapsing forward, and then the point where you stop is when it just feels right, or you run out of things to put down in front of the train.
And if all else fails, you can just end on like the B section. Is one thing I've learned from mathcore. Like compositionally speaking, a lot of songs end on B, like the B section or whatever.
Yep, it's pretty normal, pretty standard behavior.
So this album, as we were just discussing, has been in the works for quite a while. There's been a lot of permutations for a lot of these songs, and you've had some lineup changes you were sort of addressing. And this album notably saw the departure of your bassist Jacob Spinks.
Yeah.
So Jacob, was he one of the original members?
Yeah, Jacob was an original member. Yeah.
Can we talk about his departure? Because I know he played I know he played a pretty integral part in the songwriting as well.
Yeah. He and I are still great friends. We chat quite a bit still. He's I think he just like I said, when in about 2019 we underwent like a kind of big change in intensity. And I think like after like a decade, he's just sort of like, it's not really something I want to be doing anymore, and that's totally fine. It was about as amicable as it could possibly be.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like it was definitely really sad because I listened to Shooting Tsars, and it's like he's just got such a lovely voice, and he's also got such a monstrous evil voice. His
contribution to the record vocally and instrumentally, of course, but especially vocally is really excellent, especially on Castaway, where you allow him that entire song to just sort of shine. And
he recorded most of those vocals like quite sick. Like he had like a flu or something like that, and our producer Jono, who was also our guitarist at the time, he was living in Melbourne, so when he came to Wollongong from Melbourne, he couldn't really afford to not record, and Jacob was like, man, you're here, we got to do it. So even though he had a flu, he just somehow really did so great.
Yeah, he really delivered for being sick, excellent performances.
Yeah.
I like that evil voice. That's exactly what I would describe that voice as.
Well, you see him in like the Wiggle music video, and he's just got that Kubrick-esque stare, you know.
Yep. Jack.
He does.
As far as the tracks and everything go, you guys pump out quite a few music videos for this album. Do you guys really enjoy making the music videos, or do you find it more of like a task to just like get it out there like that?
I think we more enjoy making things that aren't music videos. Like we started a series called Hog's Kitchen.
I love that. I love Hog's Kitchen. It's great.
Jack, I know nothing about this. Please tell me, what is Hog's Kitchen?
So Isaac is a chef, and he's also from an extremely small bogan town in the Blue Mountains called Lithgow. So he has a sort of like side character called Bogue Jones, like Boag Jones, and he just wears like a high vis vest and like does a cooking show, and then he dresses up as the creature that he's eating, and then we'd sing a song, and then we all eat together.
There's a very, I've noticed a really distinctly Tim and Eric-esque vibe to some of the visual media, specifically the Wiggle music video, to touch on that, and Train song.
Agreed. Yeah.
Does like film and any kind of other visual media sort of like play an impact on Basil's Kite?
Yeah, I think particularly because we have like for the most part we work with two specific people. We work with James Andrews. He did the baby video. He's from a band called Hoon from Wollongong. They've got an album out called Australian Dream. It's very good. And we work with another guy called Patrick Starr. That is his real name, Patrick Starr.
Yeah, it is. And Patrick Starr has done all your most recent music videos from Sun is Shining On, correct?
I did Sun is Smiling.
Sun is Smiling, excuse me. Sun is Shining is a Bob Marley song.
Oh, that's all right.
I repeatedly
referenced
that song incorrectly, but
who did Train?
Patrick Starr.
That was Pat.
Wow. Yeah. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's killing your music videos for sure.
Yeah. And I think Isaac as well really enjoys acting in the videos. He's just we always put together really stupid costumes.
It's great.
Like the train costume.
Yeah, I love the element of humor that you guys bring to the music videos. It's just it just makes you so immediately likable, you know?
Ah, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. It makes it more bearable for us.
Did you see on Instagram the other day someone said that you should be in prison for the Sun is Smiling music video?
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that seems a little severe.
Where was that?
It was on my Instagram.
Oh, right.
In the comments.
Nice.
I definitely kept responding because it was funny to me, but I love that music video.
So Jack, as far as like, bouncing off the inspiration for your videos and all that kind of stuff, inspiration just for the music that you guys are doing right now, do you get juiced off any band specifically? And naturally with art, we're kind of pulling from everything and all that. I mean, would you say you grab from one band specifically?
Yeah, what inspires you guys?
So do I have to pick one?
No, give us all. But I would like the big one, if anything. If there's one that really stands out,
So probably it depends on who you ask in the band, but for Isaac, it's probably Car Bomb. Car Bomb is probably his big thing.
I did not expect that. I'm delighted to hear he likes Car Bomb though, because I can sort of hear that in his drumming a bit.
Yeah, he's definitely, with what he's writing now, it's even more probably influenced by Car Bomb. For me, it's probably Palm. If you guys know Palm,
wait, the math rock outfit.
Yeah. That
my dude. I've been in two separate like skate sections, like skate edits where we've used Palm as that, and I just saw Palm a few months ago here in San Francisco.
Oh, did you?
Oh, nice.
Look them up, you'll love them.
I only know the name. I've not listened to their music set.
But anyways, what do you pull from Palm specifically? Since I just got juiced off that.
Yeah, I find myself often when I'm writing, like a little bit trapped in kind of like staccato, kind of like how do I describe it? Like kind of Morse code rhythms.
Yes.
Like which is really fun and great. And I'm not about to turn my back on it because
it's like the primary characteristic of mathcore, basically. That staccato for sort of Morse code.
Yeah. Absolutely.
There's like one track specifically like In Colors or something weird like that. I can't remember. I agree with what you're saying there. Palm, and then when they played live, holy fuck, they were so tight. It was very impressive.
Yeah, I think I love how tight they are, and I also love their polyphony. I love how like there's just so many things happening concurrently and they run into each other. And I think that's a thing that we're wanting to explore more and more, which is like kind of having rhythms that just continuously run against each other and play against each other in interesting ways.
I love it.
You can certainly...
So that's why I like Palm.
Yeah, you can certainly create some intricacy that way.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'd like to talk about the lyrical themes on the album. Is there any sort of like overarching concept to the album? I know that you sort of cover a broad range of topics ranging from wealth imbalance to climate change to sort of the inability to engage with the world. I think I'm directly quoting you there, but...
Sorry, I had little audio issues there.
Oh, sorry.
I think the question is like just like some lyrical themes in the album and what like do they run? Does something run throughout it? Yeah. So basically, these songs are all kind of written at various different times, but I would say that. I mean, let me look up this album.
And that's the reason I asked. I know because a lot of this music is sort of written over the span of several years. So I'm just wondering if you. I mean, I can tell that there's like distinct themes within every song, but.
Yeah, I think probably the main theme of this album is probably just disenfranchisement. It's kind of just like about. It's just about hating things, and then it all kind of finishes with just being like, I actually don't want to participate in anything, which is Baby, which is a song about just wanting to completely regress. I had some people think it was
I love that song, honestly. The press release for it is so hilarious. When the only exit out of this world is the entry point in, or something to that effect.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The face is disturbed. The music video is great, but the baby face is so disturbing. Like, I don't know. It's the intention. It is the one video where it's unsettling, but in a good way. You know.
Yeah, that was the one that got us a lot of hate on the internet. That baby video. Yeah, if you look up the original post, it was because we advertised to a bunch of like Russian and Ukrainian audiences who were over 50, and they hated it so much. I just kept clicking like see translation on their comments, and it would always have things just like, I hate you guys, insane people, disgusting. So many angry reacts. It was quite funny.
That's like literally all of Mathcore Index's comments now, by the way. So you're not alone. People who are not familiar with this subculture of music are very, very offended when they discover it.
Yeah, it's sort of it makes me like a bit sad sometimes. Like because to me like mathcore and math rock and experimental music is kind of like it just becomes pop because it's just like I hang out with cool people who want to chat about it, and it's just sort of like to me there's no delineation. But then occasionally someone breaks into your safe space and they just hate everything you're doing and they think you're weird and they're projecting and it sucks. I remember, do you guys know the band Doomsday Student?
Yeah, absolutely. Members of Erebon Radar.
Yeah, I saw there was a Doomsday Student music video where it was a great video. It was so good. I don't remember the song, but it was
I know the one you're talking about, or I suspect I do anyway. Yeah,
the one where they dress up as spiders?
No, maybe not. They got some good music videos though.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, it's like they dress up as tennis players and they like give birth to tennis balls, and it's like really disgusting but great. And then one time this YouTuber Leafy made like a cringe video and was just like, "Ugh, look at this band. Like Doomsday Student, like, oh wow, they suck." And then suddenly it had like thousands of dislikes and just all these angry kids. So I hate that. Stay away from our safe space.
Yeah.
I don't want to be around those people.
Let us be nerdy in peace. So, for our listeners, Basil's Kite play custom microtonal guitars. Jack, what got you guys into microtonal music?
Hey, hold up. Before you answer that, Jack, can one of you explain to everybody out there, like myself, what the fuck microtonal is?
Jack, I'll let you take that.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, he left. No.
I happen just run away.
Jack has left the conversation.
He just took off.
So I happen to have a microtonal guitar right here. So basically, it's like
it's a baby guitar.
Yeah, it's like a very small scale Fender.
Yeah, this is like a half-size guitar. I'm worried that we're on a podcast, so I got to describe what I'm holding. But basically, it's got frets that are placed differently than the normal guitar frets, and that's what gives it a microtonal sound. So this is the same tune that we used on Train Song. And I think this guitar was in the video too.
It was, and I was like, that seems like a toy guitar. That can't be the actual microtonal guitar, and it is.
Holy fuck, yes. Jack. I was
like, he probably just brought like a cheap-ass banger guitar out because they're like filming in a tunnel.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that was the guitar.
Oh, Jack, I thought you were playing a toy guitar, but it's an actual guitar that costs money. I'm so sorry. Oh my god, that's so crazy.
No, well, you can see how much money it costs right here. Or maybe you can't.
I can't.
Listen,
$30.
Money doesn't matter. You made the thing fucking sing on that tune. That's like it's the most unique tune on the album, and that guitar was the one that did it. So
yes, yeah, it is the only. Yeah, it's got the only song on that album that's microtonal and with that guitar.
One last thing though, you still haven't asked me. What the fuck is microtonal then?
It just means that the tuning has different notes than that on a piano. Than that on a piano or a regular guitar. So in a frequency spectrum, say you have like each like that in itself will be cut into 12 notes.
Your chromatic scale, as we know it.
Chromatic scale, but microtones, they just cut it in different ways. So it will be like
micro.
Yeah. So can you explain that you don't have a Zen harmonic tuning? People who understand what microtonal music is will understand that probably that term Zen harmonic. But Basil's Kite's music is not in Zen harmonic, is it?
No. So Zen harmonic is like a term that's used to describe microtonal music that sounds alien. I guess like in
maybe I'm misusing that then. I don't understand the nomenclature, perhaps.
Potentially. I don't really... I try to not to use Zen harmonic. It's a bit of a point of contention in the community. I just feel like Zen harmonic is maybe a bit more off-putting than microtonality as a term.
Right.
I don't know, though. Yeah.
I agree. It is more off-putting, for sure.
Yeah.
It's a bit more alienating, literally.
Yeah, fully. Yeah, a bit alienating. But yeah.
So can you describe your tuning system?
I can. It's based on the 7th harmonic and the 13th harmonic. And basically, if you guys listen to like Mongolian throat singing, like, do you guys know that sound? That
it's like false chording, right?
Yeah, yeah. And you hear that like the where they kind of go up the harmonic series.
Mm-hmm.
So it's based on that tuning.
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so we kind of use those some notes that are from the harmonic series. And yeah.
So you've got an entire album's worth of microtonal music ready to go. You were just saying earlier, is that correct?
We do. We've got half an hour of full-on microtonal music, and I'm really excited to see what people think of it, because yeah, there's definitely tracks on there that are
I ask you if that's correct, because I've already heard the album, but for our listeners, they don't know yet. So
yeah, they don't know. Yeah, there's like a lot of mathcore tracks on there, and maybe it's less noticeable, but there's also some kind of more melodic things that I think will really twist people's ears. Maybe it'll make them think that we're just out of tune. That's okay.
That is naturally the mini comments you're going to receive. Or
yeah, we're prepared for that. It is what it is.
people are saying that about a non-microtonal band like Yowie. I can't imagine what they're going to say about actual microtonal music, not understanding how tunings work.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
But you're really pushing some I don't want to give away too much, but yeah, you're really pushing some boundaries, and it's just microtonal music and mathcore just seem like such a natural fit, and it's such an untapped it's an untapped market,
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, an untapped market. We're all going to be rich.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to be so rich, man.
Get that microtonal mathcore bucks. You've tried mathcore bucks. Now try microtonal mathcore bucks. Even less.
Yeah, we got to launch our own crypto coin or something.
Right, Basil coin, maybe. Kite coin.
Yeah, Basil coin. Yeah, but yeah, it is a bit untapped. But I kind of get why, because I had to build these guitars myself. I had to refret them myself, and there's been moments on tour where the guitars have broken or a string has snapped, and it's just like, great, well, I guess we can't play the rest of the set because no one else on the entire planet has a guitar tuned to this. So it's great, but it's also comes with such a big set of challenges. So
have you thought about setting up a backup then for when you're touring on the microtonal stuff, or do you? I assume you probably have like standard tuning guitars available, at hand.
Yeah, because we're still playing some songs from shooting Tsars. So, but yeah, we just I keep getting told by Isaac, like, just hurry up and make another guitar so we don't have to be so stressed out all the time. But what he doesn't know is that it's actually really annoying, and I don't like doing it.
Understandable. Emoji B.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
maybe I'd even consider just paying someone to do it. But the thing is, every guitar luthier doesn't want to do it because they think that I'm going to bring shame to their name by like having them make a microtonal guitar. Like I've asked like 3 or 4 luthiers, and they're just like, nah, man, I can't put my name to that, like.
Why not?
I have no idea.
Are you scared, dog?
Yeah, what are you scared of, man? Like King Gizzard are like one of the biggest Australian exports. Like, why are you afraid of microtonal music? They do it too.
Oh, I did not know that. That's
yeah.
I'm a little more compelled to investigate it, perhaps.
Yeah.
What's their microtonal release?
It's called Flying Microtonal Banana.
Okay.
And I think they did a few more kind of microtonal songs here and there.
So now I got to ask you: is the banana plane on the cover of Shooting Stars a subtle reference to King Gizzard?
Ooh, I don't think so. I think that was just our artist Jamesy taking some liberties. But yeah,
that art is incredible, by the way. It's got a lot to take in.
Yeah, do you want to see the gigantic version?
Yeah, I would love to. Please.
I saw you just looking up there.
Oh, that's beautiful. Love it. I love that cover. It just pops.
Yeah, he did a good job.
So can we talk about specifically, I want to talk about that character that's on the monitor. So during the production process of this album, we had to change the character. What happened there?
So it probably would have been fine, but I got a bit antsy about it. So it's a character from a video game called Cruelty Squad. And it's a great game. I highly recommend it. And Jamesy put the character on. And then right before the record went to print, I was like, hey man, like, did we get permissions for this? And he's like, nah, we didn't. And I was like, oh, well, I don't want to get in trouble, so maybe we should just change it.
Yeah, just discretion is probably the good idea there.
Yeah.
Playing it safe for sure. Honestly, it's such like a minor component of the cover. I think it still turned out great.
Yeah. So he changed it to a guy that like a little character I made on Blender ages ago. This little fella.
Just a little guy. Just a little guy.
Little guy. Yeah. Yes.
So what's your favorite record? What's your favorite song on the record to play?
Probably to play live is By Curious George. I think like that was always a bit of a favorite for us because it's just really noodly and fun.
I can see that too, especially with that like the Dillinger Escape Plan-esque sort of bridge it has, and the Gwen Stefani reference is sure to be a crowd pleaser live. As much as it sort of makes me, I love the song. It kind of makes me roll my eyes. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, but
no, I 100% feel the same way.
I'm sure that it's probably
really do.
It's probably like lost some sort of relevance when you perform the song so many times. Inevitably, too, is the other part of that. But
yeah, because it's like when we did it, like we were so young. Like we wrote this song and we were like so young, and it was just like a way of kind of like being funny and connecting with an audience. And now it's like it's on like a record, you know? It's like a bigger thing, and it's like it has a very different kind of context to it now, but playing it live, it would always be the thing that like people in the audience who would just be kind of folding their arms in the corner like, oh, this band is alienating and difficult. And then suddenly we do that and they'd be like, oh, I know Gwen Stefani. This is funny. and suddenly they'd all run in and it would
gotcha.
be like people
gotcha,
dancing
bitches, gotcha.
Yeah, do you make that like, is that like part of your, is it like your set list opener by any chance, or?
No, our opener is Sun is Smiling.
That checks out. That's invigorating, so I can understand that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like, I think we've always tried to do that. And sometimes it can translate on a record, but other times it's, yeah. I mean, when it's for a mathcore audience, they don't really need that sort of like, they don't really need to be invited into the record in that way. Because they're just sort of like, oh, well, like I sat down to listen to a Basil's Kite record. Like I'm across what mathcore is, but yeah, performing it live, it would do a lot of tricks.
So you sort of feel like disconnected from some of the themes on some of these songs, then, just given that some of them are a bit older.
Yeah, a little, but it's like I sort of I warmly reflect on a lot of it. Like I think it's I think it got the release that it deserved, and I think it got the production level it deserved, and but yeah, like yeah, they just are kind of, I guess probably the newest theme is Backvark, because that was yourself who encouraged me to put some lyrics on that one.
And I'm so happy that I did, because I think that ended up being one of the best songs on the record. And like the lyrics are great. The vocal patterns that you applied to that are just were better than I could have hoped for, honestly. It turned out turned out spectacular, honestly. One of the best songs on the record.
Yeah, it's funny. It spent 6 years instrumental. And then yeah.
Do you perform it live now with vocals then, or?
I do, yeah.
Awesome.
It's hard.
I figured. I was really like, he's gonna have a fucking heyday with this one. That's so cool though. Kudos, by the way.
So
just
noodly.
Yeah, for sure. Kudos to just having that ability to multitask on doing vocals and guitar and some,
oh my god, dude.
I mean, the arrangements are no fucking joke. Like Basil's, you guys bring it like very. It's all very technical and unpredictable, and yeah, it's not just like you can listen to it and like get it on the first listen, like be able to come back with those patterns anyway.
Yeah. The playing and singing thing is hard, and it just got harder when Jacob left because we were one singer down. But
yeah, so Esteban doesn't handle any sort of vocal duties live then.
He does like some backings with Isaac, but yeah, it's a lot less kind of forefront that Jacob was, less forefront than Jacob was.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm pretty much out of questions here. Jack, man, really fucking good having you on the podcast finally.
For 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been great to hang out, and despite the various technical difficulties, I think we pulled through, and the chemistry was insane.
No,
definitely.
It was really fun.
You've been a great guest, man. We really appreciate it, and just your effort to wake up and with your coffee deal with our voices and coming at you like this shit, man.
It's great. I live for this stuff. It's awesome. Hopefully we can all be in a room together at some point.
Oh, I kind of know we might be hanging out soon. I can't reveal the other part of that.
Coming to the States.
Hell yeah, dog. I'm looking forward to that.
For no reason.
No reason at all.
I just
no
want
special
to
reason.
eat a hot dog or something. What do you do when you're in America? Eat a hot dog?
You get a hamburger.
Oh, no. Yo.
Hamburger?
Yeah.
All right, yo. I'm going to continue this for a second.
You get a pizza burger.
My homie that just came here, he brought me a shirt. And on this shirt from Australia, he informed me about a sausage sizzle.
Ah, nice. Yep, that is a classic Australian thing to eat.
But Jack, ain't that a hot dog?
It's not a hot dog.
Explain to Christian what's a sausage sizzle.
I'm actually not familiar with this term.
It's a sausage on a piece of bread, but not a hot dog bun.
Okay.
It's a piece of like triangular like white bread, basically, correct?
Yeah, because it's just like it's like a square you fold into you fold it over the.
It's a hot dog with Wonder Bread. It's basically like a poor man's.
Let the man speak. So it's just...
No, I think you've got it. It's
but listen,
an Australian pastime.
My friend that was here from Australia, he did the same thing. He was like, "Well, no, it's like no, it sounds like it's fucking white bread with like a hot dog." But all right, yeah. But anyways, sign me up with those things.
Sausage sizzle. This is my first.
It's like maybe a fun fact for you guys. It's like the sausage sizzle is inextricably tied in with voting in Australia. So in Australia, when you go and vote, which is mandatory here, we have to, or we don't have to, we get to eat a sausage.
So dude,
very classic.
Jack, my shirt is a hand holding the sausage sizzle, and on top it says "Democracy has never tasted so good." Now this makes more sense of why that.
I like how he gave you the shirt and then did not explain to you at all what it meant.
No. He told me what the sausage sizzle was.
He just forgot.
He was not the democracy thing.
Okay.
No. I just had
the political component.
Yeah. No. He was just like,
I'm going to give this shirt to Levi and make him look like a fool and not understand when someone asks him.
He
from someone in Australia and they're like asking you about it. And you're like, democracy?
No, but like he's basically just like he's like it's tradition, man. He's like, no matter who you talk to in Australia, he's like sausage sizzle. They're like, yeah, sausage sizzle. It's just like, okay, sounds good.
Yeah, it's a great kind of what's the word? It's sort of it kind of de-intensifies the political energy of going to a voting booth where everyone's trying to hand you out stuff and you're just like, oh, screw you, like I don't want to vote for your Conservative Party or whatever, and then you like. Then you go and eat a sausage together, and it's just nice. And then you're all like brothers and sisters.
Right, you bond over food.
Is there
something very universal, right?
Is there a traditional condiment we put on the sausage sizzle?
Oh, you know what? It's choose your own adventure. It could be anything. It could be mustard, tomato sauce, barbecue, whatever you want. It's all the different colors of the world, all the different people.
I love it.
You can pick whatever you want.
What's truly a unifying food then? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it is. It's so important to us.
Jack, I'm
going to put this in the description, like the
sausage sizzle.
We talked with Jack about sausage sizzles and Australian democracy.
I learned a lot today, and that's amazing, man. Thank you. I'm done with questions.
We'll take 2.
Awesome. I'm glad to give you some context on your shirt. That's a great gift that you received from your Melbourne friend.
Yeah, dude. He was the shit there, man. It definitely now it means a lot more because just like democracy. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with it? But yeah, right.
I used to have a Bundaberg rum shirt that I would wear all the time. Speaking of Australian shirts, yeah.
Oh yeah. Bundaberg rum is kind of like a bogan redneck drink. In a way.
I gleaned that.
Well, you're white trash Christian, so that sounds about right. That's good.
It's true.
Yeah, I don't like Bundies. We call them Bundies.
I don't like rednecks either. In all seriousness, for sure. I grew up in a very like redneck ass town though, so.
Oh really?
I'm with you there. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't like a Bundy. Yes.
Fuck rednecks. This is turned into a fuck redneck.
Yeah, everybody. That's how we're gonna end it. Yeah, fuck rednecks. Yeah.
So, did you not grow up in Wollongong? Then you grew up somewhere else. I take it. Or?
I grew up a little bit south of Wollongong, in a small town on the coast. It's basically Wollongong. But
what brought you out to Wollongong then?
You just kind of get bored, I guess. I don't know. Maybe you had a similar experience.
Yeah.
You just kind of get a bit tired of small town.
I moved from what was a very small town to a sort of a slightly larger town, and then I finally moved to a city. So it was Yeah,
you just sort of slowly keep searching for more and more things to do.
Yeah, exactly. Well, shit.
Cool.
Again, Jack, thank you so much for joining us, man. So, everyone go listen to Basil's Kite's new album, Shooting Tsars, which is out now via our affiliate label, Dark Trail Records. Air horn.
Yep.
Yeah.
We naturally
and look, if you like the sound of my voice and want to listen to me talk more smack, I got a podcast called Music Rules, and in it we cover music in a very kind of semi-analytical way. While I was saying that, I realized I already plugged it earlier in the episode. But that was yesterday. So
this is your time to plug it again, for sure.
I was going to say, plug that shit again.
I'm going to tell you right now that I am a listener of the podcast and I'm enjoying Music Rules quite a bit. And they do go into like some very analytical detail on certain songs from Shooting Tsars. If you want to go listen to that, episode 4 of Music Rules covers that. But yeah, Jack, is there anything else that you'd like to plug? Any Basil's related stuff? Any shows coming up you want to talk about?
Yeah, like just listen to our record. We're really proud of it and really stoked with the fantastic release that Christian and Dark Trail gave for us. So yeah,
my pleasure.
Come and have a listen and hopefully see you down under.
Throw another shrimp on the barbecue.
Man, he said it. They're just like, what do you think they are, man?
I gotta ask you, does anyone say that shit anymore? Or is that just like...
it's sort of like, I don't know, probably just when we're hanging out with Americans.
Super
There's a bit of
ironically.
pantomime going on.
Right.
I don't mind being a stereotype of my own country. It's fun.
Well, if the stereotype for, barbecuing and being friendly, I don't want to fucking... I don't want to say that's a bad stereotype, but
no,
it's pretty great.
You also, I understand Foster's doesn't exist there, but here we think it's your beverage of choice.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't mind trying it actually, but
Foster's is not Australian for beer.
He hasn't tried it.
It's not there.
He hasn't even tried it. Yeah, that's clearly not.
Hey, Jack, I don't want to spoil it. It's dog shit.
Oh, I'm not surprised at all.
Well,
but I can also imagine people drinking it being like, oh, I guess it's the taste of Australia.
I'm an Australian. Look at me. I'm an Australian. That's what Americans do.
So on the next episode of this podcast, we'll be talking about our class action lawsuit for false advertisement against
everybody.
Foster's.
Against Foster's Corporation.
That's the biggest case of false advertisement since the never-ending story.
End it with that.
I'm glad. And leave on a high note, George Costanza this. So again, Jack, thank you so much for joining us, man.
Thank you. Thanks, Christian. Thanks, Levi.
Hell yeah.
So I guess that about wraps it up for the 98th episode of Mathcast. I'm your host, Christian.
And I'm your co-host, Levi.
And I'm Jack.
And we'll be back again in a couple weeks with some more... Jack! No. With some more sick underground bands. We've been doing that to them every single time we've logged on. Good night and stay beautiful.